Okay, hello everyone. I am here. Should be live, and I have someone waiting in here. I'll get to you in 1 second. I need to click on the Instagram thing because I should be going to Instagram as well. I have to click on the thing that says go live. Then I have to put that down. Go back to StreamYard. That should work. Okay, you there? I just put you in here. Dry heat that.
Hey,
Let me turn the volume back up. You there? Okay, that should work. All right, you there now? You can hear me? Okay, I don't know if I can hear you yet. I was turning it down because I'm trying to stream to Instagram as well. And the volume on here was playing what it was playing through Instagram. Rainy Rider, how are you doing? There's a link at the top of the chat if you want to hop on. Anybody out there wants to hop on? Okay, I think I hear you now. I heard movement.
I'm trying to find the USB for these so you don't get an echo.
Yeah. See, I don't have the headset thing. I need to get those. I'm about to buy some for my amp that has the 3.5 and it has the 1/4 inch. So then I could use those headphones for this and for my amp. I do need to check and see if I'm playing on Instagram. Let's turn the volume down on here. I just sent Duke a message. I hope you liked it. If you look at my Discord, you'll see what I sent him. Let me go to Instagram. I don't know how to see what's live and what's not on Instagram.
Having a hard time finding this thing, so give me a few
Oh,
minutes.
that's cool. That's cool. I'm getting everything kind of set up. I'm not used to doing the whole live chat thing. I do have a few things I'm going to do. Hopefully it's not going out to the other one. No, that's not it. It's one of them things where one of them has more family and stuff on it, and one of them has like more friends and all that. And there's just some things with family. It's like, I love you, but there's like a privacy thing there. But I am going to Rumble as well. So let me go check on Rumble on my phone because Rumble won't show up on here. If you're on Instagram and it's working, and it shows that it's working on Instagram. So if you're on Instagram and it's working, leave a comment so I can see that it's working. I do know it's working on Rumble. I don't have anybody over there yet. Let me put a hello. Please leave a comment. Leave a comment. Let me know you're here. That is the wrong way to spell here. Rants appreciated. I'm not monetized on YouTube, and I am monetized on Rumble. So I can't do super chats yet, but I can do rants if somebody wants to leave a rant. And I just put that in there. That's my dog over there. He's got his harness on, and he may be adjusting himself a few times. He's calmed down a little bit with the fireworks, but I've got a big old Mastiff over there. He's in the lobby. Cool. Let me see. I don't think I've had 3 people on here before. There we go. Rainy Rider.
There I am. Oh,
There's my salty brother.
I didn't turn on my lights. Hang on.
We weren't expecting to be on camera tonight.
I wasn't either.
Now I'm accomplished. All right.
There's always something like in your eyes or whatever. Like as soon as you turn a camera on, it's just like on the bike. As soon as you put your visor down and you get going, there's like a hair going across your face or something. So like open the visor and blow it out kind of thing. Well,
Rainy solved that problem.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, he solved his whole morning routine and everything. Just wash rag everything, and he's gone.
No regrets. Yep, no regrets. Put some put a little alcohol on a wash rag, rub it over my head, and I'm good.
You know what? Alcohol sounds
Bleach
really
juice. Good right now. How are you doing?
Hang on.
It's a good day.
But this
Happy
is my
New Year's.
son. Yeah, this is my son's old room, our youngest. And I got like a corner of it fixed up. I was going through his stuff and trying to put things away. He had, because he wanted it, a couch that folded out into a bed. He thought that was cool. So that couch is now in the living room for in case we have company or what have you. And I put an actual bed in here so that if either one of the boys come home, there's a bed in here, there's a bed in there. It works good. This was his grandfather's old desk, and I just kind of turned it facing the wall. I have a Gadsden flag somewhere I was going to put behind me, but I couldn't find it. And bottle opener, awesome. I might have a beer in the fridge. I don't know. I might go get one. But I have this, which is more important because I'm going on a ride in the morning. But I was looking for an area where I could have like a desk area that I could do stuff with. And because I need to do like on this right here, I need to do the assembly for the that hightail to put on it, to do stuff like that. That is my helmet. I think everybody's seen that before. It doesn't have the GoPro on it right now. But I do use all that stuff. There's a little teether here that goes in that'll hold your bolt that goes through. I leave that on there. I've also got words escape me at the moment, but the thing for my hair, I have one of them wrapped around here to help hold this in place. And that goes into the side of my GoPro. That's the, if you can see it, the 3.5 to C adapter stuck to the side of it, and that goes to my mic. In here, you want to put your like your Cardo or what have you on the opposite side that you have this stuff, or they'll kind of interfere with each other. What I'm wondering, I don't know if I have to move this, if it's going to work. There's a spacer. I think Rainy may have hooked one of these up before the hightail. but there's a spacer here and then a piece that goes here and a piece that goes here. And I don't know if my Cardo is sitting too far back to put that on or not.
I will let me grab my Pillion's helmet and I will show you how she has hers set up. I'll be right back.
Cool, that'd be awesome. I wish I still had a neck pillow. There's one in my truck, but that would be awesome. I watched their installation video and the way they could just put the helmet in the neck pillow. That is amazing. So
I haven't set anything up yet for a helmet. Most of the time I've been wearing a half shell. I'm just now switching over to a full face because of the new bikes that I've gotten. So actually, I say bikes. I picked up one 2018 last week, and I'm picking up a 2016 this week. They're both 1200 RTs.
well, I've hit 2 trees face first. One of them, well, actually, technically 3, but on a bike, one was in '94 and the other was 2 years ago. And if I didn't have a full face helmet on, either my face would look like my leg or I would not be here.
Yeah,
So
try not to go face first into a tree ever again.
yeah, I'll try not to. It didn't work out very good. When you're in so much pain that you can't cry, you're just laughing. That's a whole new level of pain. You know, I'll try to keep up with the chat over here. I haven't got my prescription yet for my glass. I have a prescription. I can't get them, but I'm at this point. I think somewhere around 45, 46, and I'm 46. The warranty on a human body expires, and it's just downhill from there. And it's like, okay, if I get back here, I can read it. If I get up here, I've got to look under, look over, what have you, because I need these like to see the signs and stuff when I'm driving. I can get around fine without my glasses. I just can't read anything. But if I have my glasses on, I can't read anything close up. It's also an issue in a motorcycle. For anyone who's never done moto vlogging, especially with a full face helmet, your breath. I live in a humid area, and it's not just that you'll fog up the inside of your visor, but your breath is going to come off of your visor back at your glasses, and it's going to fog your glasses up. So if you can get something to like anti-fog with your glasses as well.
Rain-X.
Yeah. It works. Rain-X, you've got to polish it out real good, just like with the windshield.
Otherwise, it's just blurry.
Yeah, otherwise it just does it's just blurry. For my truck, I like in the summertime I'll get the Rain-X window wash and I'll put it in there. That works pretty good. In the wintertime, I don't let anyone put any windshield wash in my truck ever. If they do, I will scream at them. Because by the time September comes around, I'm putting stuff in there that's 20 below for a reason. Because I don't want to get up in like Minot, North Dakota or somewhere and have it froze up. And I've got a big chunk of ice on my windshield wiper and I'm reaching out the window trying to thump the windshield wiper to knock the ice off of it. That's too much, you know? So I'm sure some of y'all have been through that and understand.
Yeah, I used to actually drive for CTI over the road.
Oh, so you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And then you get one thump too many and you knock your windshield wiper loose and you got to pull over and take the wiper off the other side if you don't have a spare. So yeah, I've done a whole bunch of stuff like that.
Nope, when you're not moving, you're not making any money.
That ball goes forwards and backwards. A truck is a big ball of money. It rolls forwards and it rolls backwards. It never sits still. If you're sitting still, that ball of money, it's rolling backwards. And that's why that's one of the reasons I do not own a truck anymore. I drive someone else's. I've been driving for 27 years. I can make more money driving their truck.
Was that the neighbor doing the fireworks?
Yeah, neighbor, fireworks.
That's awesome.
I had a friend who used to go out and, well, he's a family friend, but he's also kind of an acid casualty. And he was, my uncle's generation, those are all like Vietnam vet generations. And a lot of these guys, they came back and they worked concrete and they poured concrete with my grandfather. And this guy would be out in like a Speedo with a bow and arrow on like New Year's, walking the street because he just lost his mind. You know, I just thought about that because I have arrows right there.
That's original. I've never heard of anybody doing that.
Yeah, he would also go in a store like that and just a Speedo just so they'll sell the alcohol to him so he will leave. You know, that's just the way he was. I don't know if he's still around. He was actually really smart, but his mind kind of went with all the stuff. But it's kind of, I don't think a lot of those people remember the 70s. My mom was at Woodstock. She said if you remember Woodstock, you weren't there. So that's what I heard.
The 70s was, I was still pretty young in the 70s. But that's when I started riding.
I was very young in the 70s.
I don't know if I'm going to start giving answers to when I actually started riding because I'm pretty sure Rainey wants to do an interview on me sometime.
You can go. This will be your good rehearsal.
My uncle was known as the godfather of sidecars. He did sidecar racing, and we share the same name. So when I was about 4 years old, we went out to LA to visit him, and he put me on a little mini bike, and there I was riding around in LA traffic in front of his shop. I thought my mom was going to kill him. So good times. This was less traffic then than now, though. So
the first bike I ever got on was either a 79 or an 80. It was before the Mako went Braco, but which I think was 82. Yeah. There's a whole story with the brothers and the Mako brand where the one wanted to sabotage the thing. They took like the best dirt bike ever made to the point that most of them now, their frames are copied off that bike. But I was too young to operate it myself. I'm sitting basically up by the gas tank in front of my grandfather or one of my uncles. They're flying through the woods and I'm scared to death. We come out of the woods and I've got like a mouthful of like gnats in my teeth and stuff. And it was a blast, you know. And that was my introduction to motorcycles, was riding on those as far as actually being on one. Then, of course, I was a generation, we still had three-wheelers and stuff. We had some awesome four-wheelers that I don't think would be legal today. The three-wheelers aren't technically illegal, I don't believe.
Well, they're just engineered stupid.
Well, they're engineered kind of stupid like that, and there are a lot of lawsuits. I think the companies just went in a different direction because of that. But I mean, we had three-wheelers hitting 90, 90 plus, and you got a bunch of rednecks and nothing more to do with their time but jack with.
True story. One of the 3 accidents I've had was on a three-wheeler. I was doing something brilliant. I was racing a train. So next to a train.
Race. My cousin, I want to say it was a Kawasaki. It was a badass four-wheeler put out in the 80s. And this thing had more speed. What was that? I think it's like blue and yellow or something like that. And it had more speed than a four-wheeler ever had the right to have. And then they built it up. They made it lighter. They did all kinds of stuff to it. My family's the kind of people that doesn't buy new pins for an excavator. They get welding rods out and they just weld it up and grind it down and put a new one in there. That kind of stuff. And we're racing cars on the side of the road. I mean, you see a good car coming, a good sports car, and you're from a standstill and you're doing like racing them quarter mile on the side of I-10, until the cops had a problem with it. But usually when my family gets together, someone leaves in an ambulance or life flight or something like that, because it's alcohol, live ammunition, four-wheelers, three-wheelers, motorcycles, that sort of stuff. And it's a lot of fun, but usually somebody will get hurt at some point.
Yeah, getting hurt's not fun.
Not usually.
No, it's not. But I'm just glad Texas doesn't have the same sunshine laws as Florida does, or no one would remember Florida man. I think we got them beat. So I get this off.
That's some good stories.
I got all kinds of stories. I got all kinds of stories from the road and everywhere else.
In my defense, on the 3-wheeler, I was 10. So I wasn't really thinking straight and racing a train. I was a 10-year-old.
Right. When I lived up in Oklahoma, we'd get somebody on a trash can lid behind a 3-wheeler. You're holding on the rope. And if you're on a 3-wheeler, you're trying to keep your friend in the snowbank the whole time, you know?
Yeah.
You're sitting around. So you're just like frozen by the time you get to the end, but it is a blast. 9 mils on 2 wheels. How are you doing? There's a link at the top. I might put another one in there just so people can see it if they want to hop in. I believe Rainey went and got a helmet. You were wanting to show it.
I did. So I was going to show you. Let's see if I can see here. Okay. So what we did with her is on the back, we put them as low as we possibly can. The tabs that you actually stick the flaps in. So anything you have in the back here won't really matter because it's just an open spot. And the back of the high tail itself is flexible. So I get this. So if you've got anything on the back there, it'll just wrap around it. This is kind of stretchy. So I'm not sure how far yours sticks out.
I'm going to take it off. I love the Cardo, by the way. It works great. This is the part. Does this come off? I've never taken this part off. I think it snaps off somehow.
Yeah, the Cardo itself. So it's got the sticky back. Let me get hers off. So it's got the Cardo itself. Comes off like that. And then these 2 little tabs right there, if you push them in, this whole thing slides up. It'll be hard for me to hold this thing way up there, but
I can see him on this one.
if you push those in, I can't do it and hold it up at the same time. But if you push those in, that slides up like that, and the base comes off like that. And that's
okay, but I've also got the wiring here.
Well, the wiring, I mean, that shouldn't be in the way. If you put it forward far enough, let's see.
There we go. No, because I have the wiring tucked into this thing right here where the cushion is. And then you have this here. That way, now I've got it loose right there. But I tucked the wiring in right there. And then it comes up there and it's not catching it.
Works.
So there's that part. I don't know if that's going to work or not, but we will shortly find out. I have some alcohol wipes to clean it too. Also, this stuff, it's a cheaper polish for your visor. I don't know if y'all can see that. From Cycle Gear. Stuff works excellent. It's the Stockton Tool Company UV Protectant Spray Polish. Works really great for the visor. This is the Hightail. Something else I need to do. Let me check the chat over here. Got 6 people watching on Rumble. So, hello, how are you? I'm not forgetting about you. Just have to check the messages over there. And let me go to here. So I have my other camera set up there where I can kind of film this a little bit. I can use it for another video. So can y'all hear the fireworks?
Mm-hmm.
They were just popping. Cool. Has new footage. Download. I do not want to download. Enable preview. If you have a GoPro, you know what I'm doing. Okay. That'll work. And of course, this is the high-tail ponytail holder to go on the back of my helmet. I would use a knife, but it's actually in my truck and it's probably safer to use scissors. And it says to use scissors. I'm going to open it. And I do have some swag to kind of give away later from the Lone Star Rally. Next time I go to the rally, I'll pick up more stuff. So there's that. I'll show y'all that in a second. That thing. It's an ampule. Everyone goes to this now. I mean, still going? Cool. I'm probably going to talk over this in the video, so we're cool for conversation on this part. And what's this piece? Is there anything else? No? Shouldn't there be one more piece? Yes, there is. It's right here. Cool. That's what I was thinking. This is a piece I was talking about. The spacer for the back of the helmet. And these are the things that pop off. Let's see how this sits. It'll fit back there. I need to take the things off of it. But what I was going to do is I was going to try to put this on. How do these snap out? I'm not at that point in my life where I understand why my grandparents kept taking their glasses on and off. Okay, I got it. Put that up to the camera so you can see. It has these little things here, and they slide into here. So cool. And what's the curve on these? Oh, it goes that way. So then it goes around there. So this would go on the other side. And that's not technically the one I needed to take off. So I need to take off the other one. Is this really hard every time to get on and off, or does it get easier?
You got to stretch it the first time. Once it gets stretched out, it's easier to get on and off.
Okay. I maybe push it the wrong way. Cool. Yeah, because I have all this stuff.
What I did on hers, I did for hers, so I left the little covers on the back of the stickies. Put them up, spaced them kind of where I wanted them, put little marks on there, and then put one side on, stretched it around the other side, put it on. The little spacer is, I guess it's a good idea, but it makes it a little tight. You can use it to make the marks, but yeah, be careful.
Okay, that will fit right there. I'm wondering if it'll fit with that thing. That's going to go here. So you didn't put it on there as tight.
Yeah, give it a little room, because the first time, if you put it on with that little jig, it's almost impossible to stretch it far enough to get it on. So make the marks and then just come in just a little bit from those marks. And I'm talking like 1/8 of an inch, not very much. But if you put it on where it shows you to put it on, it's going to be stupid tight.
Well, the problem I'm also having here, I might have to come in a little bit more than that because of the amount of overhang on here with my Cardo.
I put the Cardos way forward anyway, as far as I can, because it's kind of hard to get to them. Once you put all your winter gear on, it's hard to kind of make yourself, get up there. So I put them a little more forward anyway.
I might have to move it. Because of mine, because I was looking, because this is going to have to slide over it. And for it to slide over it. I was looking for a good flat spot on the helmet. So what would I use to attach my Cardo back to it?
I had so I ordered some 3M strips for the GoPro off of Amazon, and you get like a pack of them. It's called the GoPro relocation kit or something.
I got the ones for the chin mount.
Okay. I'm sorry for Cardo. I'm sorry, the Cardo. You can actually get those Cardo relocation kits, or they call it a refurbishing kit. It's got the 3M pads. It's got extra bases. And the whole thing, let me see if I can find it on Amazon real quick.
Cool.
I think the whole kit came with like 3 sets, and it was like $20. It wasn't very much.
So I think if I move this forward about 1 inch, or not even quite 1 inch, about 1/2 inch. Well, I don't know if you can see that. How this is going to come out. It's going to be right there. And this thing's coming up about halfway on my Cardo. So in order to do that, I'm going to have to move my Cardo and move it up to allow space for it. Right. I should be able to get that on the camera too. About right there. I don't know, can y'all see that in the camera? See how far that's coming up on there, on my Cardo?
Yeah, you get your Cardo way backwards, but not backwards, further back than I keep mine.
Yeah.
Because I've got to wear more winter gear. It's harder to bend your elbow.
Right. I'm going to have, in order to put that on there, I'm going to have to move it forward probably about 1 inch. Probably about up to where this little sticker thing is here that says, always securely fasten strap so that when you wreck your bike, it doesn't look like your head came off. So,
good advice.
Yeah, you watch people's video. I don't really like the, my neck hurts. It's the other part of getting older. Is there anything that doesn't pop? I have bones that pop that I didn't know I didn't know that I have, and I have no idea why they popped. You just move and it popped. What the hell? But where was I going? Oh, I forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah. You're watching the videos and stuff. They'll come up on Instagram or wherever. I don't look for them just because sometimes they show a little bit too much and I don't want to see that because I've been there. I'm not going to take anything off because I have to do a ride in the morning. So I'm going to finish this thing later. I'm going to get that thing that you mentioned. You said there's a Cardo relocation kit?
It's called the refreshment kit.
Refreshment.
Yeah, I put the link in the comments.
Okay, cool.
I'm going to have to put them in the comments here because it's not... Not showing up.
Either that or you can put it over on my Discord. I think you're on my Discord, aren't you?
Yep. I'll drop it in the Discord.
You'll see what I left a friend of mine. Net left him a nice picture. He's awesome, though.
Where would you like me to drop it at in general?
Yeah, you can just put it in general. That way I can go back and I can find it. I will put that in there. So that's another thing about a lot of the stuff we're doing is new. This isn't stuff that's been being done for decades and decades. And the versions of it that have, we're talking about people had whole film crews and everything else, setting up all kinds of equipment. We're going out there just one person with a camera mounted to the bike or maybe two cameras. We're doing everything ourselves. We have technology that people like, Evel Knievel would have loved to have for doing his stunts and stuff like that. I don't do stunting, but imagine him with a GoPro, And a lot of this stuff comes out and it's new, or you're going to a new model, or you're trying a different brand or something like, I want to try this. I'm going to do a review on it because I have hair down to here. And if you don't braid it or something, it's going to be a big rat's nest. Having your hair flying off the side of a bike, blowing in the wind, going from bar to bar is one thing. If you go any further than that, you're going to have knots in your hair that you're going to have to cut out with scissors. Buck Brown, how are you doing? You're home in the deep South, Georgia. Awesome. But so there's some fitment to everything that we get. And if you look at everything that I have on my helmet here, I've got a Cardo that sits right here. That's my radio, and that is my phone. That is, if I'm on some applications, I can actually use it. Actually, now they updated it. I think you can use it on other applications for a microphone. I think they did some sort of update. I need to update that on my phone. But we're doing things that until recently people weren't doing. And especially, the internet and everything coming along. But yeah, I've got a Cardo that goes here. I've got a GoPro here. I'm putting another thing on the back of my helmet right here. And that is my GoPro shutting down. Sorry if that hurt anyone's ears. But there's going to be some fitment issues as you're adding more and more things to it. At a certain point, there's kind of too much stuff. But you're going to have fitment issues. You might have to move something. You might have to think about where you put stuff. Not only because the stuff for the GoPro will interfere with the Cardo if you have them on the same side, but if you're adding, something else to it, like that Hightail, you might have to move something. So it's just a consideration for what a lot of us do for fun and some of us do for a living. They took a lot of the money out of this about 5 years ago. So I don't know what y'all's comments on that would be.
My Cardo is about probably 8 years old, and it's still as good as the day I bought it, and it's upgradable. Not like the old Cardos. My old Cardo, once it ran until it didn't, and there was no upgrades, but I used it until it wouldn't work anymore. And it was probably 7 years. So the new Cardos, you can just, as long as you keep doing the downloads on them and keep upgrading them, they'll last forever. So like you say, I use mine for my phone. When I'm on the bike, it's my music. It's my intercom. It's my heads up for my TomTom. TomTom goes wirelessly to it. Mm-hmm. So I can get my any of my phone map information comes through it, so it does everything.
Yeah, I love the voice commands on everything. So I got the voice commands on the GoPro. That it seems when you get a GoPro, they work better when you first get it, and then a month later they don't work as good. But on the Cardo, doing voice commands and stuff with that, it seems to work pretty good going to my phone, because then I can just tap it and say, like call Amy, and it will call Amy. And it'll do that stuff because you obviously do not want to be scrolling through a phone, riding a motorcycle down the road. And what's his name? Famously did that and he hit a curve. I think he broke his collarbone. Motovlogger a few years ago.
Shit, pick one. They're all pretty dumb.
Yeah. And the temptation's there to jack with your phone. We've got it mounted right there by your hand. You're like, I can ride this thing without even touching the handlebars. You can steer it with your butt cheeks. But part of that too is the amount of concentration that you're paying to what you're doing there instead of what's in front of you. The same with driving a truck down the road. When I started driving a truck, if there was a TV screen within view of the driver, they would write you a ticket. Because of a few wrecks where people put a TV, when they started putting them in trucks, up on the dash, and they're watching the TV and they run into stop traffic. And that is not good. Well, the same with cars or anything else. And you have people going down the road now, and if you're looking at your phone too much in your car or what have you, you're paying attention to that and not what's in front of you. And on a motorcycle, we have a bunch of different issues. I mean, the car hits the pothole, that's one thing. We hit the pothole, that's a completely different story, possibly. To have to sit there and try to jack with your phone too much while you're riding down the road. They didn't invent motorcycles with phones in mind. And so to be able to just touch on something and have the voice command, hey, do this, and your phone does whatever you tell it to do, it picked up through your Cardo, it's linked to it. That is awesome.
Oh yeah, you can tell it, and yeah, it's anything you can tell Siri to do, or on mine, you can tell it to change the music, change the station, call somebody, bring up a map, navigate to a place, anything. So there's no need to even touch the phone anymore once you're moving.
9 Mills knows exactly who I was talking about. Walterific. He's the one jacking with his phone, broke his collarbone. I think he hit the curb.
I've seen people around Memphis texting on their phones while they're driving motorcycles. And I'm like, how the hell are you doing that? One, that's one less hand. If something happens, it's not even on a phone mount. You got to drop the phone to do anything if you get into a wreck. I don't know how many phones I've seen on the side of the road just, ground to dust, and wondered if it was from a motorcycle. They had to drop it at the last minute.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's, I don't know, in a way, I think we get too comfortable at a certain point. I think with anything, there's a stage where you get too comfortable. And that's a point where truck drivers are the most dangerous. And it's something like after they've been driving a year or two and after they've been driving 20 or 30 years. And I don't think bikes are any different because everything you do becomes second nature. You're not thinking about shifting gears or anything like that. It's all muscle memory. The clutch and all that you thought about at first it's just muscle memory at a certain point. And not that I get it right all the time. I seem to find neutral in places where I don't want to find neutral. I don't think I'm unique in that aspect. I'm usually just like, on this episode of Finding Neutral, where have we found neutral?
I'm gonna have to use that.
Relax. Huh?
I'm gonna have to use that.
Right. But it's we get kind of too comfortable. And we think we can do things just because we're, like I said, most of us can literally steer with our butt cheeks going down the road, you know? And or we're sitting there. You see me a lot of times, I've got one hand on the bars and I'm just relaxed, but I don't have anything in my other hand. I can grab the bars if I need to. I can react. I'm actually paying attention to what I'm doing. Now you switch that to I'm looking at my phone. I'm doing 85, 90 miles an hour because who the hell's driving 65?
In Mexico.
Huh?
In Mexico.
I live in Texas. It's we got speed limits up to 85.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Any faster than that? Yeah, in Mexico. Sure. Yeah, that's where we were. I don't live far from Mexico, but well, not far from my point of reference. I drive 700 miles a day, but you're relaxed and you're looking at your phone. You're not paying attention to what's ahead of you. Oh shit! Now what do you do? Yeah, it's too much at that point. So, in a way, the having all this hands-free stuff and voice commands, when it works correctly, is like a godsend for what we do. Let me see who else out there. 9 mils on 2 wheels. He uses a Senna. It has the camera. I've solved that, and it has the camera on the side. I've thought about those as well. Edward Espinoza, like a Halo helmet. Yeah. Kind of. You should see some of the more expensive helmets. I think I saw one that had a heads-up display in it. I don't know who made it. But like on some of those expensive cars, my cousin wanted one where all your gauges were shined up in the windshield. And I saw a helmet somewhere. I don't know who makes it or if it was just like an idea prototype thing. And it had all that stuff heads up just in the visor. And that looks so cool.
I saw one on, I think Fortnite had it on there, and the company wouldn't sell it to him. He had to go to Japan to buy it and bring it back because they wouldn't ship it to Canada. Of course, he's in Canada, but they couldn't get it in America either because, again, they're afraid we're going to, abuse everything. It's kind of like you keep hearing the rumors, about the Kinder eggs. They won't sell the Kinder eggs with toys in them to America because American children eat the toys. It's a bullshit story. It sounds good, but that's the kind of thing that people do in America. They don't do in the rest of the world. We're very irresponsible with our technology.
If you could play a video on there and watch TV, and I'm going to be nice and say you're watching TV, not anyone on the chat specifically, but you know what I mean, just people in general. I'm going to say be nice because I've seen what people watch going down the road in a truck. And they would be watching it in their visor riding down the road. I guarantee you. Because I don't know if y'all remember the high-tech trucker stand, I think they called it. It mounted to your passenger seat when technology has changed so much since I started driving a truck. Because when I started driving, it was still the old rules. It was still, 10 and 8. It was still pay phones and calling cards. Cell phones existed, but you did not use that on the road. Nobody understood what roaming was. Most people had like an $800 phone bill charged off on their credit report when they figured out what roaming was. And the technology has just changed so much. And so then you get to where you can hook internet up in your truck. Even before you could really have the internet where you're moving, going down the road and be able to do something with it. Well, you had laptops and stuff that would play DVDs and all that. And to be nice, because if you're playing something in the passenger seat on a screen pointed at you and you're passing someone, the person who looks over there when they see the reflection in the window is seeing exactly what you're watching on that screen. And I'll just say I've seen a lot of people watching things that were very, very distracting on that computer screen over there to their right. And if people could do that in a motorcycle visor, yes, they would. Definitely. And DM Foss, hello, how are you doing? I want to make sure I said hi to you. So it's cool that I got Rainey on here because his wife has the same thing I'm wanting to put on his helmet. So that did help me a lot.
Well, I'm glad I could help you.
Yeah, that helped a lot. Not only did we figure out that I need to move it, you had the solution to my problem. So it's like, okay, we encountered a problem and here is a solution. So that is awesome.
That is, all three of us probably know this. That's the benefit of being old. You've seen some shit. I know some shit because I've seen some shit.
Yes. How did I learn how to do this? I screwed up.
Rainy Rider, the solution to all of our problems.
I'm going to put that in my next video.
That's it, yeah.
And I was wondering, since y'all are in here, do y'all have anything that can do like one of those ticker wheel things for a giveaway?
I had one on here. I had some kind of decider thing. Maybe it was my other phone. There's an app for that. There's an app for spinning wheel.
I'm not very good technically with computers and stuff, but I do have 2 things here that I want to give away. And next time I go to a rally, I'm going to pick up some more stuff for basically swag giveaway kind of things. And this right here is a puck from the Lone Star Rally. And I don't know if you can see the writing on the bottom. It says the Lone Star. You see the spot that your kickstand goes into? And you put your kickstand.
I thought it was a drink holder.
No.
I use this coaster.
For a shot glass, maybe. A shot glass in there. That would work.
Depends how drunk you are. I might need a coaster for my shot glass. Keep it from sliding off the table.
Might. And I was wanting to give this away. And a lot of the channels that I follow and stuff, they do patch giveaways and all that. I don't have patches for this channel yet. I'm going to get some made up. I've got to get a hold of the lady that did my last patches. And I'm probably going to use my channel logo to make some patches there. I have another one that I just need someone to draw out as well that would probably be better for like a t-shirt or something. But I think I'm going to need a tattoo artist to draw it out. But this is a patch for the Lone Star Rally. Everything moves in opposite directions. And I was wanting to give that out as well. I've never done a giveaway. And if somebody could do a spinning wheel or something like that.
Just let me grab that app. I'll be right back.
Rainey is awesome.
Yeah, he's a pretty good guy. Doing some work on this bike that I picked up last week, and he offered to help me find some parts for it in case new stuff was going to cost too much. I'm actually holding right now one of the things that came out. There's a loud noise on the left side of the boxer engine. It was just a loud tick. I thought it might just be one of the shims by the lifter. And it turned out that it's that bearing right there that blew apart. And when I took the cover off the engine, the other side's still there. When I took the cover off the engine, the whole bearing fell out in all kinds of pieces, and the little cage that it's in fell out in pieces. And funny part is BMW doesn't just sell that bearing. So yeah, it's been a fun couple of days.
Well, a lot of the stuff that we do to our bikes and to our gear and all that, the companies we buy the bikes and the gear from only make so much stuff, and we're adding things to it that don't necessarily come from that company, whether you're putting stuff on a new road glide or modding up a helmet or stuff like that. So there's just stuff that, okay, this is supposed to fit, or there's stuff that's not supposed to fit that does fit. And so there's just issues that you run into of, well, this is supposed to fit it, but okay, it fits the year model before my bike, and they sent me this one. I need the next one. There's some kind of small change to it or what have you. And that's just part of basically life. You know, if you're going to have a motorcycle, if you're going to do stuff to it, if you're going to modify anything from a car to a bike to hell, your kitchen, if you're going to remodel it, because I'm looking at that stuff too, trying to make everything fit and go where you want it. There's got to be things that don't want to. I think it's private.
Remodeling's always fun, especially when I keep giving all the money away. we've been remodeling our casita now for about a year.
I'll go grab something, so hold on. I'm being way too old. That hurts.
Rainey, if you look right here, that's the part.
Yeah, I noticed something was missing in that.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, it's on the other side there still, but I guess I sent an email to a second level engineer over at BMW to see if I can just get this intermediate with that gear and have them press that bearing in. If they're willing to do that, I'll just get it from them. But either way, on Tuesday, I'm going to take this into that bearings and chains place and see if they can rig something up on those Slovakian bearings. So we'll see what happens with it. Hopefully
Slovakian.
Yeah, hopefully I can get it done. So
Okay, I have an app. So how do you want to do this?
This thing fell. I'm glad I saw that. It's not in here. How I want to do this is I want to go back to the comments and I want to see everybody who's left a comment. So if you want to be in this, please leave a comment. There's nobody over on Rumble that's commented. I don't see any comments from Instagram. It says we should be broadcasting to Instagram, but I don't know. And I'm going to pull up the YouTube.
You know, I could probably check. Where's my...
There we go. And people in the live chat are also included, so include yourselves there. And so anyone who's commented in here would be put into it. And you would have to, I think everyone on here that I see so far, except maybe Loose Juice, is on my, unless you're by another name, you might be on my Discord. I don't know. But to solve that problem, hold on. Invite, copy link. Why did it not copy? Okay. That is my Discord link that I just put out there. And just send me your information, PO box, what have you. And I'm waiting on 2 things to arrive. I have it's not a PO box, it's a PMD box. It's a copy, post, and ship. And when I pick those up, I will mail these to you. I was going to do 2 spins, so possibility of 2 different people winning. I don't know if you can see this bottle. Actually, if you have this there, it's a Pilsner beer. See the old school top? Spelled Grolsch. I think that's more of a German spelling. What is a good Pilsner beer? I mean, Czechs invented Pilsner beer. It comes from a place called Pilsen in Bohemia, now the Czech Republic. But the Germans did wonderful things with it. All beer bottles should open like that. moonshine's different. I don't know what you're drinking there, but that's what we used to have moonshine on. I walked in the house one winter. It was 20 below. We'd been cutting firewood. We're out there drinking moonshine. And we were fine as long as we were outside in the cold. When I walked in and that heat hit me, I hit the floor, and my stepfather just started laughing. So
I had
you
a
need to
similar I had a similar experience in South America. We were in, I think it was in Argentina, and they had this stuff called chicha, which was an apple moonshine. Basically, it was Doug might be familiar with Bilge wine. They had this 100-gallon glass container in the middle of the floor, and it was full of sliced apple and raisins and yeast and lots of sugar and molasses. And it just sat there, and it might be there for weeks, a couple of months, whatever. And they would come up, fill the bottles for your table out of it, and bring it to your table. But as it got older, it got stronger. And when they bring it to you, I don't know if you ever remember the apple juice from school, from elementary school. And sometimes it sat a little long in the heat, and you get a little bit of fermented.
Mm-hmm.
It tastes kind of tangy. That's what this tastes like. It tastes like tangy apple juice. And I was like, oh, wow, man, this stuff is like $1 a glass. This is pretty good. It's not very alcoholic. It's just kind of sweet, but actually it's good because it's hot outside. After 3 glasses of it, I tried to get up and walk to the bathroom, and I fell face first on the floor and couldn't feel my legs.
Yeah, your legs don't work with that stuff.
No, it was probably about 100 proof, but you couldn't taste it because it was so sweet. And we were drinking it by the glass.
It's like the first time you drink soju.
It sneaks up on you. All that sweet alcohol will sneak up on you and slap you.
I was at a party at work, Christmas party last year, and I had never drank Apple Crown because I usually drink liquor when I drink. I don't drink that often, but I like a good glass of scotch or a good glass of vodka. And I don't mean that cheap Russian shit. I'm talking like good Polish vodka, something like that. And that Apple Crown was like drinking a Jolly Rancher.
Yeah.
Yeah, Apple Crown and Mountain Dew is a Jolly Rancher.
You want a good Russian vodka. It's called Russian Standard. Stolichnaya is okay. And then you get into a lot of really cheap shit. But so there's 2 different kinds of Russian vodka. One is made with potatoes. The other is made with corn. And the potato stuff is very cheap, but it's plentiful. But it's also it's strong, but it's also kind of acidic. It's very starchy tasting. The Russian Standard is a very good Russian alcohol, and it's a very, very good stuff. So we went to Petersburg, and I actually had good Russian vodka. And then we went down to Germany, and then we got the crappy shit. But there is good Russian vodka. It's just there's so much vodka in Russia. They make it sometimes very cheap just where people can have it. And it's also very cheap in Russia.
Right. And a lot of the stuff that we get over here and that we see is just like the cheap stuff. And people think, oh, it's Russian. It's good. No.
Yeah.
And usually when you think of good vodka, even though people are like, oh, vodka, potatoes, what you're thinking of is grain, not potatoes. But I do have good potato vodka that's in there. It's not Russian, but it's also another thing of you pay for what you get, especially when it comes to that stuff. What I've found also is if you're going to make vanilla, which is another reason I like these, is I can make vanilla and things like this. And you don't want the good vodka. It's the only thing that the cheap stuff is good for. Like the Smirnoff, stuff like that. You fill it up with vodka and you put the vanilla beans in it. Then you close it up and you let it sit there for a couple of months. And you have the best vanilla you have ever used. Makes awesome cookies, awesome stuff like that.
I've heard that. Tito's is a good vodka too.
Let's see. The Mad Yankee, welcome to the chat. I don't want to miss anybody in there. Make sure I said hi to everyone. Do you need me to call off names for going in there? Or can you see them? Or
Oh, you want me to start putting them in? I didn't know what you wanted. I will start. I will throw them into the slicer.
And yeah, Rainy Tito's is actually one of my favorites for vodka.
Tito's is a very good vodka. Yes.
Yeah. So
I'm not drinking vodka tonight because I'm going to be on a motorcycle ride with the riding club that I'm with in 12 hours. If I get to drinking vodka, I won't be there in 12 hours.
So we have 9 mils, Mad Yankee, Dry Heat Doug.
I don't know if you want to put my name on there. You know how I am at claiming prizes.
True story. Yeah.
I'm just not any good at that.
That reminds me. DM
No.
Foss, is that your mediator? Should we add that person?
Yeah. Put DM Foss in there. I've already got DM Foss. If you see my logo over there next to when I comment with the little ghost on the motorcycle, DM Foss came up with that. Danger Mouse Faust. That's the DM, I believe. Pretty cool dude up in Washington.
And Loose Juice.
I know him from the 2A community. So if anybody's new to my chats, you will run into people from the motorcycle community, the 2A community, and people from my cooking channel.
Who is this guy named Loose Juice?
So obviously anything to do with food, firearms, or motorcycle is more than welcome in the chat.
Okay, so I have 9 mils, Mad Yankee, Dry Heat Doug, Eduardo, DM Foss, Loose Juice, and Buck Brown. Anybody else I'm missing?
The Mad Yankee.
I got him.
Got Foss, you got 9 mils, you have yourself, Buck Brown.
It'd be cheating if I added myself because, like I said, I just won, so I won't.
Bjorn.
Bjorn. I see Bjorn.
Don't leave Bjorn out. Dry Heat Doug's in there. I think that is everyone.
Okay.
So chances of winning are really good. There's not that many people. And I guess for the first one, we'll do the patch. So you can spend any time you're ready. I don't know if you can.
All right. It's saved. I have to watch a commercial now. Hang on. It's one of those apps.
This one is for this patch. It's the same that's on my vest. Well, I don't really show my vest just because.
Okay, so this is what we got with everyone's name up, if you can see it. Okay, and we're going to spin.
No. There you go.
Mad Yankee, the one who just joined my Discord. Awesome.
Lucky you.
Well, you got this patch from the Lone Star Rally. It might be a week or two before I get down to the post office box because I'm waiting for 2 things to come in and my schedule is really crazy. And I don't know if I'm going back to Washington or not yet. So I might go to North Dakota, I might go to Washington. I should find out probably tomorrow from my boss where I'm going. I drive a truck for a living, but when I get in there to pick the stuff up, because I have a handlebar mount from Chin Mount and I have some straps from Route 1 that are coming in, I will mail this to you. Send me a message on Discord. Actually, send me a friend thing on, friend request on Discord, since you're on my Discord now. And that way you can direct message me and you don't give everyone your address. Or if you got a P.O. box, I prefer using P.O. box something just because of internet. And send me the information and I will mail this to you. And I might put some stickers for my other channel in there. My other channel is a cooking channel. So it'll say Tara Smith's Kitchen. And one has a motorcycle mark across it. And that's kind of a thing from when I had my motorcycle wreck 2 years ago. And the other one just looks like a interstate highway sign. And if you see my other channel, it's the logo. And it's a nice little, like a helmet sticker sort of thing. And I don't have the other stickers yet. I don't think I'll have them in time. If I do, I'll put one of those in as well. So that one goes to you. And we have one more person to add into there because Dr. Harley joined the chat.
Okay,
I don't know if you can add anyone there.
I can edit the wheel. I can. If I
Awesome.
bring it back up.
Sorry, keep on your duck down for the camera.
So we have everybody. Let me let it edit. So we have everybody edited in there, and we are spinning. How the hell? Okay. Dr. Harley. Unfair. Bad form.
That is awesome.
Yeah, I've won some things before because like they were doing a drawing at the writing club that I belong to. And when I joined, and for some reason I won like 3 different things. And it's like you feel like it's right. It's not, but it just kind of works that way sometimes. And Dr. Harley, I already know how to get a hold of. He's not on Discord, but I have he has my phone number. So I mean, this will be going to you. It's a puck from the Lone Star Rally that I picked up. And that will be going to Dr. Harley. So next time I get by there, and like I said, it might be 2 weeks because I don't know where I'm going for work. And I'm waiting until I get 2 things in there so I can drop by, pick them up, mail everything, do it all in one swoop. And this one will go to Dr. Harley. So congratulations, Dr. Harley. And congratulations for the Mad Yankee. So, and also if you're over on my Discord, I have I just started Subscribestar. I don't know if it's actually working yet because they have a thing like, I guess, where they're checking you out or verifying you. And it says that they have a whole bunch of people they're going through right now. And every time I look at it, it's not quite ready. I don't know if you can sign up for that yet or not. But I am on Subscribestar. I am also on Patreon. Patreon works very well. It serves both my channels. And it also is linked to Discord roles. So I might put some links out there in the chat so people see that. Boom, boom, boom. He's calmed down over there. He was going crazy there.
Ours are fixing to start. I know my wife's going to call me in a second to go watch fireworks. Do we have another spin to do?
No, we have no more spins. I only had 2 things. And next time I go to a rally, I will pick up, or anything like that, I will pick up some more stuff for giveaways and that sort of thing. I've never done a giveaway online before. So that is the first one.
I did, but the guy didn't claim it, so I don't know what the...
Yeah, that guy. I don't know about that guy. I don't know. If you give something away to me, you just got to put it in the mail and send it straight to me and hope I accept it.
Yeah, what if it comes back?
Well, that's what Josh and Shay did. They sent me a box full of stuff, and I'm like, I didn't order all that. And then they were like, no, it was a gift. And I was like, oh, crap. I feel so bad now, It's like giving them a hard time. But why'd you send me this crap? This hat? I need a Sessions hat, okay?
Yeah, that was they were giving shit away. They gave me. I have a what is it? A Bob skull or whatever it is, bob head, and the one I got was a 5X. I'm like, I'll never
you need
finish
that.
this thing. Well, when I washed it and dried it, it shrunk down to like a 2X, so now it's not as big. Makes a good gym T-shirt, so
Yeah,
it works. But still,
I just thought it was really cool. It put a big smile on, so I was like, wow, I got stuff
free
I
shit
wasn't
is cool
expecting.
shit. Yeah, anything that's free is cool.
But I've usually got a bunch of stuff laying around that I just still haven't even put on the bike. As a matter of fact, you were talking about lighting. I'm sitting here looking at stuff going, man, I've got a set of lights right here that I still haven't put on.
I tell you what, number one good thing for any bike, I put this in my last video, but you put driving lights on that video, you increased your safety factor by 100.
Yeah. Shoot, the bad part about that electric light is when you're behind, if you hit the brakes, you're squinting your eyes. There's so many lights on that thing.
My BMW's that way. The Grand America, that thing is an airplane. It's got so many lights on the back. But yeah, I've had people tell me, we know it's you coming because there's lights everywhere on that thing. And then you get on the Harley, and it had one headlight that was about like 50 lumens maybe, and then the backlight was the Rudolph light, and you'd be lucky to see it when you're 20 feet away from it, much less 100. But with a new light, I've got LED lights on the front, LED turn signals that stay on white when they're not yellow, plus the new driving lights. Yeah, you're definitely there at night, and I feel much safer with those lights on it.
Yeah, it gets people's attention. Yeah,
I like the headlight on my flat bob, and I do a lot of night riding, as most everyone here. Yeah, and a lot of it has to do with I go to work before the sun comes up, and I come home before the sun comes up.
Yep.
So it's just the way it is. But you can see the difference even in the light. It may look weird. People may not like the light that I have on the front of the Fat Bob. It's a stock one. But honestly, I think Harley needs to put more lights like that on their bikes. That light is awesome. It just lights up the whole road in front of me. And I don't have all the other lights like y'all have around it. I've just got like the stock ones on both bikes. And hopefully I'm moving fast enough. No one's going to hit me.
That's a big thing. Being able to get out of people's way. The dog is starting to freak. My wife just texted me, and I am the dog's. When the thunder and the fireworks are going off, the dog climbs into my kidney. We share fucking organs because she's a big old 80-pound dog, but she's scared to death of fireworks. So she is waiting for me. I need to get out of here and get in there. Thanks for having me join you. Thanks for having me on. And I will see you guys very soon.
Awesome. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. You are awesome for doing the spinning wheel for the drawing.
That was just fun.
Thank you so much. And I got my dog kind of calmed down over there now. I had to deal with him. And I got Dr. Harley wanting to hop in anyways. So
cool.
I guess he'll take your spot, and I'll catch you later. Right. You have all my contact info too. So
I do. All right, Doug, nice talking to you too. I will see you soon.
It was good seeing you, brother. We'll get that interview. Let's see, Friday and Saturday, she and I are going to head down to Tucson to do some patient visits, but probably after that would be okay.
Okay, let's. I've got one for Friday and one for Saturday. Let's make it for what does next week look like?
I'm pretty well open after this coming week.
Okay, then let's do it. Not the weekend of.
Yeah, the weekend of the 6th, I believe.
That weekend I'll have. That weekend I'll have Lost on the Road and Jesus Christ, my brain just failed me.
Yeah, we've got this many patients to go see.
Oh, go have fun.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a busy weekend.
All right, I will hop on. I'll get back with you on Discord or on Instagram. Talk to you later.
Just call.
Okay, I will.
Right,
I have your phone number now. Bye.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
Good
Hello,
evening.
Dr. Harley.
Good evening. Happy New Year's.
Stasny Nowy Rok.
I just got in from West Virginia. I spent the weekend in West Virginia.
Awesome, awesome.
That's not something to be proud of, is it?
Actually, it is, man. If you've
It
never been to West Virginia, the roads out there are phenomenal.
I've been
For
through it.
motorcycle, oh, definitely.
Even in a cage, some of those roads are very technical.
Mhm.
A lot of switchbacks, pigtails, elevation changes in the turns. There was one turn that's like 170 degrees, quite a few turns like that. Some
Jeez.
amazing roads. I'll be going back out there in June for the Hootenanny rally. It's not really a rally, it's a fundraiser for the high school kids, and it's going to be held at the what do they call that? The White House Campground. I think it's in Somersville, and it's going to be a great time. I'm looking forward to going out there. I really am, with the bike and everything.
Well, I'm all the way out in Phoenix, so
Hey, I know Phoenix.
Going out in that direction is
Pretty tough.
takes a couple hours to get there. You know, I don't mind riding straight into Oklahoma City and then taking a 6 or 7 hour break before I ride on any further.
Yep.
But,
I understand. I was out in Morena quite some years ago.
Okay.
About an hour or so outside of Phoenix.
Yeah. I actually pretty much all over the state Monday through Thursday. I bounce around a little bit.
Okay, right on.
So
I don't know if you guys saw it. I got home this evening and there was a box on my back steps, and it was a whole bunch of knives from Sanity Jewelry that he's donated to me to raffle off to raise money for my chopper build.
looking at the bonfire.
Hell yeah, man. Bonfire's where it's at.
That's it.
Rednecks in South Georgia. Cheers, everyone, to a new year.
Cheers.
Cheers. Happy New Year's. We're right next to
They put the yard out.
Well, now you know you
That's
got a
just
good
less you gotta
bonfire.
mow.
Catch the yard on fire.
It's just less you got to mow.
Like I was saying earlier, if Texas had the same sunshine laws as Florida, no one would know who Florida Man was. I mean, it's just rednecks, firearms, alcohol, motorcycles, jacked up pickups. We do get hurt sometimes. Things get broken. Things get messed up, but we have fun.
Hey, Tara.
Yes.
I grew up in Black Coast. Should I tell you any more?
The political rules in Arizona is don't mess with our guns or our off-roading.
Yeah, I grew up along the St. Johns River in Palatka, Florida. So, yeah, there's that.
All right. I put links in there to my Patreon in the chat and to the Subscribe Star. Subscribe Star is new. If you have any problems with that, let me know. If anyone decides to check that out. And
Y'all watching me do a damn dance. Don't laugh at me. But I set myself on fire.
Jeez.
something tells me that wouldn't be the first time. But
Yeah, the kids they got the grandkids inside, and I had a few more pallets left to burn, so I figured I'd chime in and
cool.
just enjoy the woo. The New
Right.
Year's.
I am taking a trip this summer going to New York, and I don't know if I'm going to hit the Pigs Trail in Arkansas or not on the way up or the way back. I do plan on hitting the Tail of the Dragon. I'm going to see a friend of mine over in North Carolina. I'm going to see my aunt in Pennsylvania. And I'm going to go up to Champlain, and I'm going to go see my uncle, who's actually from Woodstock. But he lives up in Champlain now. And, of course, he's an old school biker from way back when. And he's kind of retired and in a home now and all that kind of stuff. So I have to ride my bike up there to go see him.
Right on. Good for you.
Yeah, and part of what I'm doing, even with the Subscribe Star, it's got like a goal on funding because obviously I'm taking off for 2.5 weeks at least to make that kind of trip on a motorcycle.
Yeah.
And traveling on a motorcycle is different than a car or a truck. You're like, oh, I'll make better time. I'm on my bike. If you're local, yeah. If you're going cross country, you're going to stop more often for fuel. You're going to want to stretch your legs. You may do that iron butt thing once or twice, but that's about it. At a certain point, especially you get older, you're going to get out, you're going to stretch your legs, you're going to, you got other issues. You want to be able to walk when you get where you're going.
Bingo.
Yeah. So, whatever anyone can donate, I would appreciate it because I'm looking at hotel rooms, gas, everything else. And I'm going to be filming. I'm planning on filming the Tail of the Dragon, catching a few things along the way going up there. Don't know if I'm going to Graceland yet. I heard there's some issues there with the last year, like something happened. Love to see Dollywood. I've been to Loretta Lynn's. I'd love to,
Anything going to be an issue, sis. You know that, being a truck driver.
Well, traffic? Yeah.
Memphis in general. But it being a hub city, it's dangerous.
Yeah, that pilot on the south side of Memphis where the cop picks up the lot lizard and takes her around the corner. She's back 30 minutes later. Like that stuff.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And they're across the bridge in West Memphis, too. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not as bad as it used to be, but it's still not great.
Well, Tara, I wanted to jump on here and say Happy New Year's to you and everybody. I'm actually going to be passing out here soon. I'm a bit tired. I've been on the road since 10 o'clock this morning. So,
Okay.
Happy New Year's. I wish you the best. Good luck with your trip up to New York. Look forward to seeing stuff like that.
Yeah, well, I'm going to be filming along the way. I'm going to try to do some live streams, and I'm going to do some other footage. I don't know if I have enough time to hit the Ford Museum. I'd love to hit that. But that's going to be kind of outer route coming back. I know I'm going to Tail of the Dragon for sure on the way up there. I'm not really experienced with moto camping and stuff with the motorcycle and the ins and outs. Magpie is real great with that. She gave me some tips, but I might try that once along the route, someplace that I know is, more safe or what have you. And I'm not going to get woke up in the middle of the night and told I'm trespassing and stuff like that.
Yep.
But mostly it's going to be, I'm looking for cheap motels, stuff like that for the night. And try to have my point as someplace to go. But I've heard there's problems with that. It's like you set this place, it's like 500-600 miles down the road, so now you have a goal. Now you're heading for that motel because you reserved it and something happens and you can't make it. And now you're stuck trying to find someplace else and you're not going to get a refund on the next one.
Yep. So I'm going to say good night. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. It's great to see you again.
Okay. Hit me up with your info and I will send that puck to you.
Okay, I will. Good night.
That's the first drawing I've done. Thank you for hopping on. Have a good night's rest and Happy New Year.
I didn't even know you were doing a drawing.
Well, you got in at the right time.
I guess so.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year's.
Okay.
I was busy blowing up fireworks with the grandkids, or I'd have jumped on a little sooner. But
Oh, that's cool.
I'll hit you in your Discord about your run up the dragon.
Mhm.
I got a line on right at the bottom part of where it starts. So I may be able to help you there. The night before you take off that morning. However it works out. We'll figure it out later.
Right. I'll be doing that this summer. My boss already knows I'm taking off for it, but I don't know I don't have an exact date. And like I said earlier, the Patreon supports both of my channels, and the Subscribe Star, I kind of have it set up more for the motorcycle channel, and I have a thing on there with the goal. If people can help, great. If you can't, awesome. If you don't have money to donate, please don't donate. you know. But any help is greatly appreciated. Let me see the comments so I can keep up with them. How do you scroll? I used to know how to scroll on StreamYard, but StreamYard will only let you do like so much on the scrolling. I think if I had an actual mouse, I could move that thing, but I don't. It's just on this little laptop thing. So I go over here and I look.
Well, Doug, I guess this is kind of an unofficial first meeting face to face.
Yeah, I've actually hollered out your name a few times.
In the chat there when I was setting up mortar tubes for the grandkids.
Yeah, we've actually got about, I don't know, 2 or 3 big setups that we just haven't set off yet.
They're in the house. I just you bring none. You got none out with you? None out my back. I'll go in there and get you some.
Yeah, I don't know how much longer I'm going to be on. Rainey was awesome helping me out with this thing. And this is my helmet, and I do have a ride to do in the morning.
Yeah.
So I'm probably only going to be on here like maybe 10, 15 more minutes.
Well, your setup is way ahead of where I'm at. I don't have anything set up on my helmet. My helmet came with some Bluetooth stuff already built into it.
Mhm.
But honestly, the only thing I've really done is talked on the phone and listen to music. So, and I've probably only worn it about maybe 5 or 6 times ever. Just because in the summertime it gets so hot here that you really can't do a full helmet here. When it's 117 degrees, it's just insane. You end up with heat stroke. So
yeah, Arizona is crazy on the heat like that. How does this go on there? I can't see it again. I gotta take my glasses off.
Yeah, I'm pretty well set for when I get heat exhaustion, which does happen. It's happened a couple times on the bike. I just got to run home and throw an IV in. So,
Here's one that fell out.
How's this gonna work?
Yeah, I'm trying to.
I forgot how this goes on there.
Rainey and I were talking about some of the 3M Velcro stuff too that works pretty good. It's a real good interlocking Velcro, and I don't know if I've got some right over here.
I've got some of that, and the problem that I have with nearly all of it,
this stuff,
is the heat down here is so hot in the summertime.
Yeah.
And just like with the stuff for the chin mount, and chin mount only, what do they call it? Their stuff is only rated to 93 degrees.
Right. This stuff right here that I'm showing you, This is what I use here for the heat that's around here, and it seems to hold up pretty good. And I don't know if you've seen it before. It's the white stuff, and it just snaps together. And then this sticky side just holds like crazy. I've never actually had it peel off.
I've had a little problem with it. I'll show you. I think we all kind of figured that part out. I'm turn it. Is that little white speck in there?
Yeah.
That's what's holding on to 3.5 to C adapter. I've got the white stuff right there. That I can kind of move it and adjust it. It's not like Velcro, it's like hard, it snaps in their thing. Now it's on there really good. It's like it doesn't really want to come off now. But at first it seemed like it wouldn't like set good enough. And it would want to kind of start peeling, and I'd have to put it back down and peel it, and I'd kind of put it back down. The holds pretty good. The GoPro, the chin mount would start falling off the front while I'm filming, because it was like 105 degrees for like 2 months down here, like 90% humidity, 105 degrees, and it's just too hot. I mean, I've been in Arizona when it's like 117, and that's a different kind of heat too. What's weird is Vegas has humidity now. Like they said, from all the man-made lakes and the pools and stuff, you go to Vegas, it's not a dry heat. It's like 110 at night and humid.
Yeah, I just moved back here about 4 years ago from Vegas.
But
Yeah.
fun fact about heat, I got my introduction to dry heat back in 2008 when I got sent to Iraq. I got off the plane at 11 o'clock at night in the middle of the night in Iraq, and we opened that door and it felt like I got thrown into an oven.
Yeah.
I didn't think Iraq was that bad. Both times.
Well, there's also a difference between like the heat in the south. We get up over 100 and all
Well,
that.
then Doug,
the crappiest part of Iraq was the
leaving.
damn mud. When it would rain, you'd have to carry a hammer around to knock the mud off your boots.
I was actually at Kalamazoo, right there off of MSR Tampa, halfway between. And yeah, they had to bring in rock on our fob. They had to bring in rock for our roads on the fob to keep the mud from having to rescue vehicles on the fob.
Yeah. Tara, I don't know if you know this, but like it's almost like caliche. When you walk in it, it just keeps caking on. And pretty soon you're walking around with like 30-pound boots and just mud caked on there like crazy. Yeah. It's insane.
Boot brushes at every door.
Yeah, pretty much.
In the south, as hot as we get, if your AC goes out but you can roll your windows down, you can get cooled off. In Arizona, you roll your windows down, it's like sticking your head in an oven and you're not getting cooled off.
That's just hot.
Yeah.
Just try not to think about it. Drink a lot of water.
Well, there's also the you're leaving out of Barstow, you're going to Vegas.
Yep.
And people don't realize that you're climbing that mountain when you leave Barstow. Long before you get to that big needle out in the middle of the desert, you've been pulling that mountain.
Right.
And they're in too high a gear. They're lugging their RPMs too low. They're overheating their motor. And that's why a lot of people, their junkyard has a lot of cars about halfway up there, and I mean, just vehicles, it's completely different. And if you're not used to it, you don't know, then you're wondering why you just overheated your car out in the middle of nowhere. So, yeah, the heat out there is unreal. Or there's many times I've been out that rest area out by 21 Mule Team Road out by Borax.
Yeah, actually I do.
There's many times when I pulled a reefer that I've been pulled in there. And I've had the doors open and I've been thawing that thing out because my reefer was freezing up on me.
Yeah, one of the reefer tricks I used to do was when I'd leave leave Arizona or California with, most time it was California with broccoli. And they throw that 4 inches of shave ice over the top of everything.
Oh yeah.
I'd grab the liar box and throw it in my freezer in the cab. And then I'd just like shut the reefer off and just melt all that ice as I went across to Arizona and New Mexico. That way I could load on about 81 or 82,000, gross.
Mm-hmm.
By the time I get into, well, actually it was Missouri before I'd ever hit anything that I'd have to scale up. I'd be at, 78.5 or 79,000.
We used to not even get tired until we split off at West Memphis.
Wow.
Because everyone's talking on the radio and all that. And
Mm-hmm.
you're out to West Memphis, now somebody's going down 78, somebody's going straight. If you split off down 78, all of a sudden the radio got quiet and you're looking for a place to park that truck.
Yeah, because you just get dead tired all of a sudden, right about 3:34 in the morning. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That was just crazy. So I put all my GoPro stuff up, put that on my helmet so it's ready for tomorrow.
Well, I wouldn't know. I always ran legal.
Oh, yeah, I always ran legal, but they didn't start me. Like we did.
You always ran legal.
Yeah, but then I'd have to sit at the house for about 6 days and catch up.
Oh yeah, if you got paid on a 3,000 mile week or something, that's because your trips were catching up with you when you were at home.
Yeah, I always ran 3 books.
You dropped your logbook off when you went to California, and when you got back, all of a sudden you had all these hours when you got back to like Ehrenberg or wherever you're crossing at, because half the time you would go up off on 40 and then you would cut down and you'd catch that scale in Arizona right there between 10 and 40 because they would be closed at night. You go down to 10 and then you cut back up, because you're going around the scales.
Okay, I the one you're talking about when you get into Arizona, yeah.
Right, you know what I'm talking about. And they would close at night, so you would go out a route just to hit that one.
Right.
Right.
Just little tricks, or you could take that shortcut and come down through you get off at Santa Rosa, I think, and then just run straight across. Yeah. Coming to Phoenix. Yeah, that was the trick coming into Arizona. You always want to come in at night. There was one time I did get caught in Yuma, believe it or not. They actually did a spot check on logbooks, and I grabbed the wrong one.
I don't fan days. I don't miss the flathead days. But when this new breed sees me in a tribe, and I told him, I've been just trying to figure out.
Hang out with me a while. Yeah. Maybe about like 10 more minutes. So all my GoPro stuff is in there except for the GoPro, and I'm going to be charging it. So the box that the kit comes in, the vlogging kit, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
That's good for sticking your helmet on for doing stuff. What is good is the neck pillow.
The one thing I wanted to figure out was how to plug in. I guess there's some kind of thing I can buy for the Insta360 to plug into where I don't have to keep worrying about charging the batteries or switching out the card or any of that. It can just like upload to my phone. That's
my Cardo over there hooked back up. That's my GoPro on a chin mount. And that's the 3.5, the C adapter. And when I can move that Cardo up about an inch, I'm going to put that high tail on the back of it. But I'm going to have to order that stuff that Rainey told me to order and put a link out there for me. And I'll be able to move that because, let me see.
But Tara, you was talking about Arizona. Let me give you a little South Georgia connection to Arizona. Tombstone in particular. I am sitting in my daughter's yard right now, and I'm probably a 10-minute ride from Doc Holliday's home. I can take you to his mom and daddy's grave. That's about 5 miles from where I'm sitting in South Georgia. So it's not about me. It's about the history of this world. It's about not this world, but our country as a whole.
The world is a huge place, but it's smaller than people think it is.
Every day,
It's getting smaller.
especially what I've been dealing with since my wife recently passed away, I found out the bigger the world gets, the smaller it gets at the same time, especially in our circle. Between, Josh and Shay and Rainey and Doug and you and everybody in this little universe, even though we don't see each other in person, we're building a dang network that we can rely on each other. So that's why I wanted to take a few minutes here before midnight to say I appreciate everybody.
You're awesome. And
since I didn't mean to interrupt you, but since I had following your YouTube channel and you're doing your truck stuff, and I'm like, this is another one that drives a truck, that rides a bike, that there's so many similarities, and we all come from different walks of life, is where I was getting with that. We're a lot more in common than we are different.
I think most people are, and that's kind of a sad thing about the country, which has more to do with the media and stuff like that, pushing people apart. I think most people in the country could probably agree on 80-90% of shit. And then you have people on like the very extreme ends that are trying, the media wants to focus on them and make everything seem larger. I think most people could get along.
Well,
most of us.
The media only shows the ones that scream, that are hollering the loudest.
Yeah.
Our voice is here between us.
Yeah, pretty much. I just think most people, there's something they could find some common ground and they could get along. And I think we could do a lot of good if people could work together, but there's too many people with a lot more power than any of us have that don't want anyone to get along, So, and you look at most of the country, you look at red states and you look at blue states. Look at the blue states. They're solid freaking red with a couple of blue dots in them, You look at the whole country going across it. No matter where you politically fall, the country is not what the media makes it out to be.
Nope. Sorry, toting another pallet to the fire.
Cool. And it's just, I see a lot of similarities between farmers in like New York and Kansas and Texas. And, people think New York City when they think New York. No, drive north a ways. You're going to find a totally different group of people. They're like rednecks with a different accent. They got, jacked up 4-wheel drives and they're having fun in the snow and they're hitting the 100-mile-an-hour club on a snowmobile, hoping they don't hit a crack in the lake. And
I'm good. I'll stay in South Georgia.
I
don't do good in the snow.
Well, I have a lot of family in Georgia because our extended family, because I am a direct descendant of someone by the name of Sir John Whatley. That's through my mother's father, his family line. He got, you can look him up on the internet too. He got a land grant from the King of England in 1600 in Virginia. And they moved down, into Georgia and across Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, Oklahoma, and worked their way this way. So there's a lot of people over there in Georgia that I'm either related to or distantly related to. There's a famous violinist from Georgia by the name of Watley that I'm related to. There's a guitar shop over there that they make guitars and all that stuff. I'm distantly related to those people. So I do have family from over there. I don't know if you know anyone with that last name.
Locally,
Watley?
there's a Watley or two, but it was back in the early 80s when I was in high school. And
Well,
with going in the military and going around the world and coming back home and getting back in the truck and being back on the road, I just, most of my time has been spent behind the wheel of a
truck.
So,
Yeah, that song, driving my life away takes on a whole new meaning after a few decades of driving a truck.
Well, speaking of driving my life away, Tara,
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure both of y'all have seen the movie Big Dog. Black Dog.
Black Dog, yeah.
On that soundtrack, it was re-recorded. Eddie Rabbitt originally recorded Driving My Life Away, but it was re-recorded by Rhett Akins for a movie soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Rhett Akins, his son is Thomas Rhett. Well, Rhett was a high school buddy of mine. Not for anything else, but there's a lot more to it. That this little small community I live in, like Sonny Schroyer lives across town, and he used to be Enos on Dukes of Hazzard. And this is stuff you can't make up. So you're talking my kind of language. We got a lot more in common now.
Right. Yeah, people are more the same, but then there's a lot. I think there's also something, once you get into riding motorcycles and driving trucks, there's a certain amount of freedom or that kind of personality that you initially get with driving a truck. At a certain point, all that freedom can kind of become a prison in itself. There's a reason that the walls are padded in the bunk.
You said prison. Prisoner of the house.
Right.
Ronnie Millsap. Guess where he's from? Born and raised Robbinsville, North Carolina, and that's the bottom end of the Tail of the Dragon where it starts. I'm full of a lot of useless knowledge, you guys. Sorry.
I think we all are, just depends on the topic. And by the way, 9 mils on 2 wheels. If you notice there's a wrench by your name now, you are a mod.
I can't see any of the YouTube chat.
Yeah, because you're on here. Are you on your phone?
Yeah, I'm on my phone in the
You're
backyard.
on your phone on StreamYard. That's why.
Hi, Matt.
9 mils.
Maybe
Looks like we even have a troll out there. I'm not sure. I haven't seen that name before. It says Harry Monk. Says, if your girlfriend or your mother switched bodies, which would you sleep with? So I don't know if that's a troll or not. I usually grade trolls. So you'd have to leave another comment for me to figure that one out. Trolls are welcome, but I mean, as long as they're not breaking any rules, don't ban them. Do grade them though. If they're not original or something like that, if it's just bullshit, it's like, come on, give me something new, So I made mods out of a few of you. I'll probably make mods out of a few more. People tend to hop in my chats and what have you. But if you are a mod, like I said, if you get trolls in there, as long as they're not breaking any YouTube rules, they're not being like actual, like hateful, can get someone in trouble, that kind of stuff, threatening, let them troll, let them do their thing. So
On that note, I'm gonna get off of here. I'm gonna go set up some good $1,000 fine fireworks to throw up into the sky here in Phoenix. And I wish everybody a happy New Year, and thanks for having me on.
thank you so much. Thank you for hopping on. A lot of first on this thing here. How do you have to set it up with the desk and the wall and all that? You think this will work pretty good?
Pretty good. The only thing that I would do differently is if you're going to show somebody something on camera, I'd have it a little closer to a camera, or have a second camera that you can switch to that you can show it closer. I don't know if you saw, like, when you were showing the helmets and stuff, and you see me kind of leaning in going, yeah, that's what you're talking about. So that would be the only thing I would do a little bit different. Yeah.
Yeah.
But other than that, the sound's great. If you're going to have anybody on, when you get an echo, you'll see, like, I've got a Bluetooth in right now. My normal headset, I can't find the USB that plugs into the computer, so I threw this on so you wouldn't have any kind of an echo, and it does really good. So you'd want to make sure that if somebody's going to be, if you're going to be talking to somebody online, make sure that you can reduce their echo somehow. Sometimes you have to actually re-engage or turn off the echo prevention in order for that to work. Those are the only things I've got. Everything else looks great. Lighting looks great, and everything else is good.
Okay, thank you. I agree with the camera.
And this is the first time I've joined in on anybody's live that I didn't have my Blue Parrot. So I'm doing this off the phone. So
yeah, off the phone, there's already echo canceling, so it's working out really well.
Yeah, it cuts you out a little bit sometimes, but that's just I think the canceling thing, how it works.
it probably proximity for me holding the phone here to holding the phone to there.
Mm-hmm. And trying to figure out the angle of the camera to work with my height. I end up leaning over it anyways, but I have to get back far enough that I have room for my legs under this thing. And if I put it down too low, then it's like the angle's not right. I'm not extremely tall, but it's like I'm just tall enough for it to be a pain in the ass. Yeah, so I'm just barely over 6 foot. So basically, for anything,
you're not as vertically challenged as me.
All right, guys, I gotta get. Have a good one.
Thank you so much for hopping on. I'm about to get off anyways here in a minute. Thank you so much.
Well, I'm glad we got to chat for a minute, sis, and get to meet each other in person. Well, face to face through the camera.
I just picked up this hat and I've been working and doing stuff. It's holding my hair back, and I'm like, it says Harley Davidson on it, and I mess hats up. I know people, they buy them and they're collector's items, and they leave all the stickers and everything on it, and they do all that stuff.
And there's a million hats made just like that.
Right. Me, I end up buying a hat and I wear it every day, and I go to work and back with it, and it ends up at a certain point. It's like it fits when it fits perfect and no amount of wind can blow it off your head. It looks like it needs to be thrown away. Yeah.
My daughter had this one made.
Oh, cool.
Of course, it don't say Harley Davidson.
That's fine.
But wind in the road, it don't matter. At the end of the day,
I don't care what people ride. I prefer Harley just because I do. My dad rode one, my uncles rode one, or ride them, and I grew up around them. But we also had, like I said, Mako. I had Kawasaki. You don't have to ride a Harley. You can ride whatever you want, as long as it's got 2 wheels. It's the same thing. Honestly, you can get the same thing I have in a Harley for $10,000 to $15,000 less. You know.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Harley is over overpriced. You're paying for the name, but you're paying for a Harley. It's like you can buy something cheaper, but it's not a Harley. If you want a Harley, if that's your thing. Would I ride another motorcycle? Yes. Would I buy another brand? Yeah. Indian's one that I would look at.
Well, the main reason I bought my Indian is because where I'm at in South Georgia, the closest Harley Davidson dealership is 45 miles away. The closest Indian dealership at the time in 2018 was 90 miles away. Well, I like to be different. And they wasn't that many in 2018 in South Georgia. So the dealership in Tifton wouldn't ever call me back in 2018. I wanted to buy a Billiard Blue Street Glide special. They never did send me the buyer's order on it. 2 weeks went by. So I was like, let me go look at other brands. And I found one in Tallahassee, bought it the next day, and lo and behold, my Chieftain came with, whatever I wanted on it, just like the Street Glide, other than I had all my LED lights and I didn't have to upgrade this, that, and the other, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, for the bang for my buck, and I can be different too because there's not that many around. Plus, they're carrying on. When they dropped Victory in 2017, they carried all over their intellectual property from Victory line into the Indian line. So they're still, the DNA is still there from the Victory bikes in the new Indians. So, and Victory was a good bike.
Oh, it was.
Absolutely was. So
there are a lot of good bikes that even Harley came out with things that are just like, this is what you need to do, but they don't sell enough of them or what have you. And, just business wise, they're not able to make it, even though the product is just so good. But I guess it's just life and that's business.
Absolutely. Well, I'll keep touch with you and keep base with you, and maybe this summer when you get up to North Carolina, maybe I can get up there a day or two, because my mom, she's in upstate South Carolina, which ain't but 2 hours from her house to Robbinsville, which depending on which way you go into the North Carolina. If you go into Robbinsville to ride up to go to New York,
I'm gonna have to go back around because I'm either going to have to leave something at my aunt's house or with a friend that I can't go into New York with.
I understand that. I understand what you're saying.
Right. And that little tiny stretch of Maryland, my luck, I would get caught going through there. So I'm going to have to kind of reroute and come back and go around. So,
well,
Maryland and New York are the only two states I'll have a problem with.
It's understandable. I don't leave home without my American Express either.
Yeah, I usually don't either. I have methods for on the truck and everything where I can kind of stay within the law. There's some states you're still screwed. You're going to take that ride, but technically you're in the right. You'll get out of it, but I don't want to have to deal with that. So I'm going to have to adjust my route accordingly to go along with that. So I got a film on, you're on my Discord, right?
Yes, ma'am.
You're on there. I posted one a while back because I have it set. I had more 2A content a long time ago before YouTube really cracked down on it. So a lot of things I went and I set them to unlisted. And sometimes I will post them from time to time. A couple weeks ago, I posted something probably in general. I'll repost it probably tonight or tomorrow or something, where I was shooting my 329 PD.
Awesome. I'll check
I
it out.
used to always carry a 1911, and just because I built them, and that's my two favorite guns of all time are both Colt, 1911 and a single action Colt. That's like my two favorite. Although if you want a modern revolver, Smith and Wesson is definitely better.
Well, my
But
EDC,
92 is full size, huh?
my EDC is a Ruger LC9S.
Nothing
The
wrong
only,
with that.
and the only reason for that is because I might be 5'6" on a good day, and it don't print very bad.
Well, I would show you, but YouTube doesn't like seeing guns on a live stream anymore, and they'll cut your feed and they'll cut your stream and all that stuff. But my height does provide the advantage of being able to conceal larger handguns.
Yeah, the last one I had before this was S&W Sigma 9, and it was really, with that double stack, it was really just, it was like carrying a dang 44 Magnum.
Well, that
Me.
329 PD is really light. It's scandium frame, titanium cylinder. It's brutal to shoot after. If I shoot a whole box of ammo when I go to the range, my hands will be bleeding. But it's a 44 Magnum, and it's that light. I want to get the 360 PD, which is the 357 version, and that one would be smaller. That'd be something you might want to look at. The 360 PD, Smith & Wesson. It's very light, easier to carry. Revolvers with the curves on them conceal better. The 329 is kind of big. You could probably carry it, no problem. But if that's an issue, that works too.
I hadn't been big on revolvers myself, but I do.
If you got to carry a revolver, 357, 44. 357 is like the best round for a revolver if you're going to carry it, even if you're going to shoot.
Oh, absolutely. And the reason I'm agreeing with you is the first revolver I had bought my late wife was SW 357, but I bought her 38 shells for it.
Right.
So, it's a lot less kickback.
Yeah, anymore, especially riding the bike, though, as light as that 44 Magnum is, and as spread out as the weight is, it's just so easy to carry. I carry that a lot. That and I started carrying it because my trailer got shot up during the riots, and I wanted something that I was comfortable shooting through my windshield with. You caught that. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
And I got to where I carried that more. And I also, I've got a Glock 27 with a competition barrel that before the pandemic, I was shooting competition with GSSF, Glock Shooting Sports Foundation. I'm not a huge Glock fan. They are what they are. They're frugal. They do exactly what you ask them to do. They're not pretty. You'll never make it like a 1911.
But they are modular, and they are
right
interchangeable with other accessories. Right. I mean, being so close to being in Georgia, even though I'm probably 3 hours from South Carolina, PSA, they do a lot of conversions with their stuff with Glock.
Yeah, the dagger and all that. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with the Glock. I have them. I shot them for competition, and you can shoot two different classes with that 27. You can shoot the compact, and you can shoot the regular with it, and that's why I had it. So it's very accurate. I'll carry that sometimes. That's the only Glock that I actually carry. If I'm going bigger than that, I'm going to carry my 226 SIG And but usually anymore, I'm carrying a revolver more and more, and especially riding a bike, I tend to carry that 329 PD, and it will definitely do the job. If you ever get a chance to shoot one, it's
I'll look
fun.
into it. I'll look into it.
But because
I
it's
mean-
lightweight, I mean, you can shoot 44 special through it too. It's not as brutal, but you know, I'm generally, even when I go to the range, I'm shooting 44 Magnum hollow points, and it's gonna hit hard.
Well,
Lauren likes a CD75. I love them.
it's that whole thing about we don't want to have to use it, but if we do, we want to make it count.
Right. And my situation, especially traveling, my dog over there, he stopped two meth heads that broke in my truck while I was sleeping in it in Oklahoma City. Come to find out, they were armed. They broke into 4 other trucks and they robbed somebody at gunpoint. I'm like, well, he can't stop bullets. So then I'm like, I started going through the laws. There's actually no law federally that says you can't have a firearm in a truck.
No, there's
But
not.
you still have to follow all the state and local laws, just like as if you were in a car or anything else. You know.
But here's my thinking, and maybe I won't say that. No, I'm not going to do it. I don't want to. I'm on your stream. I'm not going to say it. I'll wait till I'm on my stream and I'll say it because I'm not monetized and I'm not trying to be monetized. So we're good.
Yeah, well, you know the places we go, you know the things that we have to deal with. And if you've ever been out there slamming on your brakes, trying to get somebody off of your mirror, and you end up losing a pulse thermometer that was stuck in your AC vent, which happened to me going through Chicago. I never got that pulse thermometer back. I don't know why. And it's a different world. You know, we go places the cops don't get out of their car at night. So,
but yet that's the same city all these buses are going to from Mexico.
Well, they're sanctuary cities.
And they don't want the buses.
Drop of what we're dealing with, you know, and they're passing the legislation to keep them coming in and all. What's bad is they're being used as political pawns. These are human beings. They're children of God, just like anybody else is.
Absolutely.
You know, my grandmother on my father's side was an immigrant to this country, and our labor practices over here to get the cheap labor to work the fields and all that kind of started the problem. Then us messing with all these countries and messing with their governments and screwing stuff up kind of didn't help that any. But we've sort of created the problem in a way, and they're not letting us do anything to fix it. Everything, because we've been getting slammed like this for decades. And more and more people keep
And
coming
the thing about
across.
that is on the back channels, like what we're doing here, the tide is rising for us.
Mm-hmm.
As the voice that's been quiet, the ones that's, like I said earlier, the ones that's been hollering the loudest, they're getting the most airtime right now. But however,
But the tide is rising.
There's more and more of us that are getting tired of it.
Well, it's stuff like too, like California counts them in their population for the census, which there's a reason they want to do that, because you get more electoral, even though they can't vote. In most places, they can't vote. They've got local elections and stuff where they're letting them vote and stuff now, depending on where you're at.
I'm still here, but I'm away from the fire. I'm grabbing another pallet.
Yeah, but when they add to the population, they're counted on the census. That's going towards electoral votes. And there's like 2 of them that California shouldn't have, you know. And I understand they're wanting to count them for resources and aid and stuff like that, but we shouldn't have to be doing that. That aid should be going towards citizens first kind of thing. It sounds cold and poor where they're from, but that's more what it has to do with is the strain on the resources. The guy that lost his factory job that was paying for his wife and kids and their house and all that, that went to Vietnam or India or wherever, and now he can't make ends meet, he can't find a job. That's where our resources need to be going. Not, I think we should do our immigration like most other countries would treat us if we went over there, which means you need to be bringing something to us. You're a doctor, okay, hey, come in. You're a skilled worker in this field, okay, we can give you a work visa, you can come in. We need this skilled labor to do this. If you're not offering us anything, then that's a totally different thing. Because there's only so many. It has to do with resources. We want to make it about race and all that stuff. But when it comes down to it, it has to do with where is my tax dollar going? Who is it going to help? Is it going to help veterans? Is it going to help, the, homeless Americans? Is it going to help, people, trying to go to college, U.S. citizens trying to go, is it going to that, or is it going to somebody who, I feel for you, I feel for what's going on in your country. But I think we should take care of us first,
Well,
and we should keep our nose out of the business.
And it all goes back to that safety briefing we all get when we get on an airplane. Put on your mask first when it drops from the ceiling, because you're not gonna be no good to nobody else if you ain't got no oxygen flowing. You ain't got no mask on to breathe if there's a fire, an emergency. If you can't take care of yourself first, how you gonna be able to help anybody else?
Oh, right. It's the same with your family, with anything else. Like my neighbor, I was telling him, because he was looking at getting custody of his son and all that. I'm like, take care of yourself first. If you can't take care of yourself, you can't take care of him. Get
Nope.
yourself straight. Take care of yourself so that you can take care of him. And maybe we should stop going through and funding coups to overthrow people's governments and all that kind of stuff in South America, and disrupting all their stuff and leaving them in turmoil that causes them to want to make the track to come up here. There's so many things that it's like, why don't we worry about ourselves? Why don't we worry about America first and put our resources here? I understand we have military reasons for being around the world, but there's just so much more that we should be doing here that we're not. I'm related to people who are in Ukraine. Do I think we should be sending all this money to a proxy war that they're going to lose anyways? No.
I get that, because one, me being private service and seeing it with my own eyes, that a lot of it never. I mean, most of it was portrayed as humanitarian aid and humanitarian acts and stuff like that. We shouldn't have been out in Afghanistan or Iraq to begin with. However, those folks have been fighting for thousands of years with themselves. We're not going to go in there, and we're not, as a country that needs, like what you were saying, we need to take care of ourselves first, and then we can help other folks.
There's many ways Ukraine is a carryover from Syria.
Yep.
We're talking about an oil pipeline there and resources, how Russia makes their money. But then you add the history to that, which we always forget. Ukraine's where we all come from, at least that side of my family. And it went up to Russia, went to Poland, and the Poles have a good story about it. The migration, when the Germanic people moved and the Slavs took over, there's a whole history there. They wanted the seaport, they need the oil. We were fighting a proxy war with Russia and China, and basically we were having like a Mexican standoff in Syria, after the administration at the time armed the rebels who became ISIS. We have a habit, we keep doing that. We keep arming the people that we fight. Hell, we trained the Vietnamese in 1942 to fight the Japanese. That's long history, the stuff like that. But it just kind of keeps going, and it's a proxy war between the East and the West. And it comes down to resources. They were losing from the beginning. I have friends who are over there and who were fighting before we would even admit we were doing anything to help them. And our media lies to us about what's going on over there. They wanted to make things seem like it's better than it is. It's not. And Russia is doing the same thing that they've done for over 100 years. You can go back to the Russia-Japanese War. You can go back as far as you want. And they're expending the resources and the time and the everything of the other side with people who they don't care about,
Oh, yeah.
And they're going to wear you down and slowly, and they're going to win.
Well, we got all up on this other stuff, but I appreciate your time and your efforts and everything you're doing to bring a different perspective from your point of view, because like I said, it's how we get through these things as a community.
Hopefully I didn't offend you there. I don't know if you agreed with any of that.
Oh, absolutely.
What I was saying.
I haven't known a genealogy on where my family's come from and stuff, but my thing is, can't we just all get along?
Yeah, to quote Rodney King, can't we just all get along? Who knew the man was a prophet?
And it just, my thing is, like I said earlier, we're all more similar than we're different.
Yeah, I agree, 100%. But I was going to get off here like 20 minutes ago, and she came in here, and she's like, you going to come in here? I'm like, yeah, I'll be in there in 10 minutes. And I get to talking for too long, and there's no one to talk to in the truck. And if my dog starts talking to me, I've probably got bigger issues at that point.
Well, this network's bigger than you think, and I'll hit you in the Discord. All right, sis?
All right, you take care. Thanks for hopping on. Anyone still watching, anyone who catches this in the replay, thank you so much. I put the links to my other stuff there in the chat, and I'll probably go back later and put them in the description as far as the Patreon and the Subscribe Star. But I have a ride to go on in the morning, so I do need to go get to bed. And I will catch y'all later, and I'm going to sign off. And thank you so much. You're awesome.
All right. See you, sis.
All right. Bye-bye.